Hello, Thorstad here with another easy Lego upgrade. This time it's for the Lego Overwatch Dorado Showdown pickup truck. This flying truck, I gotta be honest, I don't know anything about Overwatch, but I think that the sets and the minifigures just look really cool. I thought that this truck looked really awesome, and then when we got it, I noticed it's actually not that great with these little cheater wheels. You can see those from kind of all over the place. And I was going, we don't really need a flying truck in our city anyways. Maybe we could do a upgrade of this or a downgrade of this to make it not fly anymore and just make it a regular truck. So that's what we're going to do here today is downgrade, easy Lego downgrade here for this Dorado Showdown pickup truck. I do like this little flatbed part. Pretty much it's going to be just replacing these flying bits to get to an actual truck that rolls. Here are the extra pieces that we're going to need. Give you a minute to pause there and take a look at it. I've already got two of the wheel sets already built up just to save a little bit of time. We're going to have some bigger wheels in the back and some smaller wheels in the front. It does take quite a few pieces here though because of the way that the flying bits here are attached. So first we have to do quite a bit of destruction. So we'll turn this over and we'll just start taking parts off. First things that we're going to lose are these train wheels, the cheater wheels that are on there. We're going to save these one dot yellow pieces, but those little tiny wheels will get lost. We'll take off these other two. We're going to continue to use these studs on the side pieces here. These 2x2 black stud on the side pieces, which was nice of them to include here because they didn't really need to. We're going to reuse these 1x4 maroon pieces, maroon plates. This whole back wheel assembly, the flying wheel assembly, is not going to be used, so we can get rid of this whole back one. The front one, we're going to use one of these red 2x2 round tiles and both of the transparent blue under tiles in our later build, but we can get rid of one of these discs and we'll save both of these blue pieces. And then we need to take off this whole big under plate, which we're also not going to use. Actually, it's easier if we take off this little bottom part of the bumper first, which just comes off as one 4-piece assembly. That will get put back on in a little bit. Then we can take off this very large 6x10 plate. I'm going to have some pieces come with that. Let's see. Try and do this as slow as possible here. So we've got these wheel pieces are not going to be reused, so that can go. There's going to be a 1x1 gray and 4 1x1 yellow tiles here that are not going to be reused. So those will go away. We'll continue to pull those off here in just a moment. We've got these 1x2 with the slide rails. We will keep those. We'll get rid of our other flying wheel assembly. Continue to take off our 1x1 tiles. And depending on how that big plate comes off, some or all of this will just kind of come off naturally for you anyways. Let's see if I can get this one other one out here. No, not yet. On the front here, this 2x6 with studs on the front is going to come off. That'll get reused. And then we need to take off these 2x8 maroon plates. So one on each side. And then last thing up front here are these two more of these 1x2 dark bluish gray with the rails. And now I can finally get to this last 1x1 round light bluish gray. So now I've got this underplate. This is how it was originally built up with these 1x1 cylinders and the 1x1 plates. That will all not be used again. The last little bit that we need to take off is in the back here. And to do that, it's easiest if you take the cab off first, and then this whole back section all comes off as one assembly. And what we're going to take off are the white studs on the side pieces And then on our now very demolished car, we're going to add back our 2x2 round red tile just as a support. We can put the whole back end back on, and then we can put the the hood back on as well. And this is where we can now start to build to make our truck into a truck instead of a flying truck. So actually one last little bit of destruction that I didn't do here. So we took off these two sub-assemblies. I just need to take these apart. We don't need the grill pieces anymore, but we are going to reuse these 1x4 light bluish gray bricks. And we'll use those right from the get-go. So those are going to go on the back end here, just kind of lined up with the back end of these long Technic bricks. And this is just going to help to fill in so that you can't see the Technic holes from the side. Now we're going to start grabbing some parts from the collection that we had displayed, and we'll start with a 1x4 brick with 4 studs on the side. That's going to go towards the back because we're going to build just a small bumper back here. We've got some 1x1 dark red bricks that will go to build out the back section here for where our wheel wells are going to be. We're going to use 4 of these 1x2 inverted wedge pieces to create our wheel well. So 2 on each side here as we continue to build back. And then we'll skip 2 studs lined up with this 1x4 here. We'll put in the rear facing or the front facing part of our wheel well, those last 2 of those. We've got 1x1 tiles that will go underneath these inverted wedge pieces on either side, and then we'll take just a quick break here to build up a sub-assembly that's going to go on the underneath part here. So we're going to take these reused 2x8 plates. We're going to take 2 of our 1x4 tiles, or plates, excuse me. So we'll put a 1x4 plate there. From our own collection, we've got a 1x3 and a 1x2. And then we'll just make a mirror image of that for the other side. So the 1x4 plate, the 1x3 plate, and the 1x2 plate. And then we're going to put these, so the longer side is going to be to the outside, so the 1x3 and 1x2 is going to be to the outside, and those are going to go on to the bottom of each. And that's, this 1x4 is important just because it fills in this little section here to give them a floorboard. So with those in place, we're going to put in these 1x2 with rail pieces on the underside here, just to give it a little bit of a step and to make that gray line look nice. So we'll put 2 of those on each side by the door, where the door would be. We've got a 2x6 plate in dark bluish gray that we'll put across, which will give it just a little bit more support, and then also continue that gray line. And then we can start to work on our front wheel assembly here. So to give a little bit of support here, I've got these 2x2 round plates in gray. There are 2 more of these in the trans blue if you don't have these and you wanted to use those, but the gray, you can see a little bit of that there, so I like the gray color up in the front. So 1 of those on each wheel well just to give a little bit of support up there. We've got a 1x4 maroon tile here that's going to go up at the front, and then we're going to recycle these 2x2 black plates with the studs on the front that are going to be all the way up at the front to hold on that bumper assembly that we took off. So 2 of those. We're going to take 2 more of these rail pieces, the 1x2 rail pieces, and they will go up front here. This just gives it a little bit more support and gives it a little bit better of a bumper look So one on each side. And then we can put our whole bumper assembly back on here. So there's the assembly that we took off as originally built. That's just going to go right up at the front again. There we go. And then for our wheels, for those to go on, we're going to use these 1x4 plates because we're going to use the bottom side to offset the wheels by a half a stud. So I've got 4 of these going across. But it's important not to substitute it so that you can have the ability to get a half dot spacing here. And then we're going to build up our wheel assemblies. So in the front we've got the smaller tires, and so we're using these 2x2 modified plates with the pinholes. But for the front, the wheel well is pretty small. It's important to get the one that has the 2 and then to use the 3 long Technic pin so that there's less front to back wiggle. Otherwise the wheel will hit the wheel well. And then we've got these low profile wheels up in the front. So we've got that. We're going to use the inset here to get this a half stud off. And I've already got a second assembly all built up. We'll put the other one right there. So now the front part is complete. And now we can start to work on the back end here. So for the back end, just to get to the same height here, we're going to fill in with these 1x1 yellow tiles. And these are not particularly visible, so they get hidden away pretty well once the wheels are on. But if you want to change out the color, I just kept the yellow ones because that's what came with the set. And then the tire assembly for the back. Now I'm just using the 2x2 modified with just the 1 pinhole. And the gray Technic pin, and then I've got the larger tires in the back just to give it a little bit of a different look. I'll put that one there, and then we've got a second assembly already built up. And then we're going to take one more of these 2x2 with studs on the side, again in black here. That's from our own collection. And then this is going to give us the ability to put on a bumper on the back. So to do that, we're going to take the piece that was holding the bumper onto the front originally, and then we're going to put a 1x6 light bluish gray tile, which will be the bottom. We're going to take a 1x4 light bluish gray tile, which will be our bumper, a dark bluish gray 1x4 tile, and then we'll take these trans red cheese wedge pieces just for some stoplights, and then some 1x1 trans clear round tiles to be our reverse lights, and then that'll go on to the back assembly there. And then I've got the 2x2 round transparent blue just as a piece that can help hold that on, and then I've got one more of these 1x4 maroon tiles, plates, and then one more of the 2x2 rounds just to give those back wheels, again, additional support there. So that's what we end up with, and there is our easy Lego upgrade / downgrade to turn our flying truck into a just regular old truck. Again, I really liked the look of this thing. I thought it was kind of a cool retro looking truck that had been turned into a spaceship, but once I got it out of the box I was not so happy with its flying ability, but I do like the way that this looks once it has wheels, and I think it'll be a welcome addition to our Lego city. Just as a quick recap here to see the parts that we have left over, so you know that you got everything all right there. That's what we had left over from the original build. Hey, if you like these easy Lego upgrades, we've got a whole folder full of them. If you go to our YouTube channel, we've done lots of little upgrades on a whole bunch of sets. You can check those out. If you like this video, give it a like. If you want to leave a comment, we always appreciate comments and try and get back to you. And if you haven't subscribed, please go ahead and subscribe to the channel so you're the first one to see our new videos as they come out. Thanks for watching.